Cool times. Well, welcome to Season with Salt. This is episode 34. This is your host, Dominique Beaumonte, and I have a special guest with me in I want to call it the studio because it's not really a studio, especially if you knew where I was, but I'm not going to say that on the air. Definitely not a studio. I have a special guest with me, and it's kind of perfect because it's kind of Mother's Day week, I guess. And I have a guest with me. Why don't you introduce yourself, guest?
Hi, Doms. My name's Amanda Langston Barnett. I guess better known to Dominique as Mandy or Mans from college. college
Okay, yeah,
days.
that's who you are. My special guest today is, I was going to say one of my college roommates, but I don't think I had another one. Did I have another college roommate?
Well, I guess in the summer school, when you were in summer school.
Oh, yes, those college roommates shall go nameless. So Amanda and this is the way I remember it. You're gonna have to say if this is not the way that you remember it. I believe we were cheerleaders for rival schools, and I believe that during maybe like the first week of school, maybe welcome week, maybe I walked past your room, or you walked past my room. Do you know?
I do. Well, we had J101 together. And
The first quarter?
Yes. The very first quarter we had J101 together. And
your memory's better than mine.
Yeah, so then I would always see you in like the opposite end of the classroom, well, the big lecture hall, I guess. And so we were definitely rivals until I think we were in the same dorms one day. You came up and said something to me, and then we were like inseparable ever since then.
Right.
But it was like a rivalry until it was just an opposite of a rivalry. Like
right. Which is crazy. So it's crazy because I think that I know I lived on the 4th floor and I thought you lived above me.
Yeah, I was on the 7th floor, I think.
That's what I thought. I think I lived on the 4th floor, and then I had a roommate that was on mushrooms or something like that, and so I ended up moving across the street to the international dorm. Remember?
Yeah.
And then, but it was I mean, you either lived in the UI or you didn't. But it was a sacrifice that I had to make to have my own room, which was very important to me.
It was a sacrifice because you had to share a bathroom, I think, after that. The UI,
That's right.
Those perks.
You must remember when my roommate used to he knew that I liked herbal essence, and so he used to take a shower or something with herbal essence after he got done smoking weed. And I don't know if you remember that, but one time I came home and it smelled like herbal essence and weed, and he had a towel under the floor, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm like, dude.
Essence?
Huh?
So it was your herbal essence, or he was just trying to be considerate?
I think I just liked herbal essence. I don't know if whose it was, but I think I might have mentioned that to him. And he was a very wealthy kid from New York. And I remember there across from the UI, there was that house called the Brown House.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to say that you could get any drug from the Brown House that you ever wanted. And so I think that people would stand at the 7-Eleven, which is across the street, and somebody from the Brown House would bring them the drug. And then, but anyway, it's too much. Anyway, so that's the freshman year, and then sophomore year. Were we roommates sophomore year, or did we? In sophomore year, we both lived in the commons, huh?
Yeah, we lived in the same apartment complex, but you had your own place, and then I had a revolving roommate situation, every term.
Right. I remember that. I do remember that. And then sophomore year, we definitely lived. Junior year, we lived together. with
Yes.
Jamie.
Yes. Yeah. Junior year we lived together.
Right, we moved out to the suburbs.
Yes,
And
far out.
right.
It's far.
There were a lot of epic nights. I could see that street because at the end of the street there was like a firehouse, and I remember one night that you're a mother now, so I would not review this night, but I could see that the firehouse was blue. I just remember that, and anyway, it was a long night. So I, I will not incriminate Amanda, but I think it's fair to say that I will incriminate myself. I had not been exposed to alcohol until I got to college, and I was very much I was an explorer, if you will.
Well, I think that's what college is for the most part.
Okay, okay, great. So
Well,
I
undergrad
fit in.
college. At least your
Right.
first few years. You have to figure it out because you're getting close to go time.
Right. That really died down when I could not when I was responsible for like filling my own liquor shelf. Then I think that's when the 211 Still Reserve days started. But anyway, when I could no longer be the crowd. I think we had a year where we were friends or something like that. I don't. There was like a weird. Did we have a year like that? It was like one year where like all the sophomores broke up like and parted ways with the seniors or something like that. I
No,
don't
I don't
remember
think
how.
we had a year where we weren't friends.
But we had a weird year though, where like nobody lived by each other. So that had to be senior. Well, it would have been my senior year, but you
Where did you
were.
live? Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
with me.
we all moved to like Springfield. So if you didn't move to Springfield,
Right.
then you were. I mean, we were like out there, so it was just everybody who was out there was just out there. Lived in town,
Right.
lived in
Right.
town.
I feel like I moved to Springfield first though, like because I lived in Springfield my 4th year, and I feel like you guys moved to Springfield your 5th year.
Um,
But I could.
no, it was fourth year too. And then I moved back and lived in the same area that we had lived in when we were roommates, just a different apartment complex. So, but you were
It's
not there
crazy how
anymore
like
because you already graduated.
right that I do not understand why I graduated early. I just do not understand. Sometimes I wonder that like how did I miss that 5th year? And I feel like that year was just a wash because like I just remember like the only memory that I have of that is like living in Ashland, Oregon, and like doing nothing all day.
Well, you went to summer school, so you technically got like a full year of classes like in the summer.
Yeah, but I feel like I missed out on something. I don't know why. I just felt like I missed out on something. So
Yeah, it was a fun year. I'm not gonna lie.
it seems like it was a fun year, but so now we were like all in the NABJ, and that year we won chapter of the year. And even though I had graduated, I think that I came back and like went to NABJ with you all. I do remember that.
Yeah,
That was kind of fun.
that was fun. That was, off of the sweat of your brow though, that we won that. So rightfully that
Well,
you were there.
perhaps. The beginning of not living a life with no balance definitely began in college. So like things have certainly changed. You got married. You have 5 kids.
Yes, that is correct.
You have five lovely kids. I will admit that I was like when I was like thinking about this episode, I had started like writing down all the kids' names. And then I realized, and then I was going to go through all their names and say how they were my favorite. And it was like Kaden and Nixon and Coco. And then, like, something happened. And then I realized that the 2 that I'm missing, the baby, and then my favorite is the one that I can never remember his name. And I didn't say it.
Yeah, that's Cruz. And he's your favorite because he was crying that one time you
Cruz.
watched him. When he was
Right.
like, what, one, I think? One, I think it was like 1 or 2.
Right.
And
And
he
then
was like
Kyson is the
so upset.
youngest.
Yeah. And Kyson's one who was like
Okay,
chasing
got it.
after you and you just were leaving after the
Right.
football game.
Right.
Dad, where are you going,
I
Dad?
have like a love-hate relationship with children. Like some kids will start crying and like people are amazed that like kids that won't go to other people will come to me. And then on the other hand, like just recently I went out with somebody and their son was with them, who was like 2, and he spit on me. Like like
Oh, no.
I just it took me it made me rethink like my whole life. Like he just like I just didn't know if maybe that was a sign or anyway.
Take you
So
back to middle school days when you were like, hold on, what just happened?
right, because I definitely got spit on in middle school, but that's not for this episode.
It's like a full flashback.
Right. I just so you just finished graduate school. You went to an unnamed institution that was not the University of Oregon in Washington. That was not definitely a premier school in the field, but I'm saying this out of angst. Again, this is a football related term,
It
not to
is, but
diminish your.
we did pretty well, I think, in football and basketball. It's not too shabby. Clay Thompson's a product of the school.
Oh, are you talking about your Washington State Cougars?
I am.
Oh, are you like a person for them? Like, are you like?
I am when they're not playing the Ducks. I'm like, oh, there's
Oh,
my
that's very
school. But then
interesting.
when they're playing the Ducks, I'm like, oh, go Ducks. I'll
You
just
know, it's crazy. Because I went to UNLV for grad school, and like, there's just no chance that UNLV would ever play Oregon in football. So I never had to worry about that. Like, and if they would, it would be like one of those like cupcake games at the beginning of the season. Now, basketball is a whole different story. Like my final year, I think that maybe I think that maybe like Oregon and UNLV went to the Sweet 16 or something against each other, like twice. Like, and so I don't think you ever have to worry about that in
I can see
basketball.
that.
Yeah. hmm But I didn't. I in grad school. Like I had like a free T-shirt, but I just didn't like. I was like, "Ooh, let me go get a UNLV shirt." But
But that's a different kind of campus, though. Like you're in a city, it doesn't have like the college campus vibe that other schools where that's pretty much
right,
all that's going on is. But I mean, I'm a little different because I went to the global campus, so I have yet to see the campus of Washington State University.
oh wow.
So I was looking forward to doing that this weekend, but had to cancel that because of coronavirus.
Wait a minute though. You've definitely stepped foot on the Washington State University campus. We didn't have like a crazy Pullman night before.
Oh yeah, well I've been there before. Yeah, we were in a step show there. We were in
That's
the
right.
step
That's right.
show there for I don't even I think it was like no, I forgot what it was called. I just came across all the pictures the other day.
Oh yeah, because your chapter, the Sigma Delta chapter, celebrated 20 years of existence.
That's correct.
That's
Yes.
wild.
I know. It
That's
was. I
wild.
was like, there's no way that was 20 years ago.
We were there. That's crazy.
I
Well, we were
know.
freshmen, huh? Were we freshmen or
Yeah.
sophomores?
Yeah. Fresh. I think, no, sophomores, right? No, freshmen, right?
Do you have a sleeping baby?
Oh, I do. Yeah. Is he
Is
snoring
that
really loud?
yes? What baby is that?
That's the 2-year-old Kyson.
Hi, Kyson. He's enjoying his nap. So, what's your advice to like 30-something mothers like going to grad school? Like, are you a pro at that, or are you like, don't do it?
Well, I feel like I just know so many other people that have, been in the same situation or done it or have had, a lot of other things going on. Like a lot of the assistant teachers in my kids' classes at school are, parents, and then they're also going to grad school, and then they're also
Mm-hmm.
working in the classroom, from 9 until, or I guess 7 probably until, 3 or 4. So, um, so it didn't seem like undoable. I do
Yeah.
know that your timing, like your priorities, kind of have to shift, and it doesn't have to be all the time, but
Yeah.
there definitely are some weekends where, you just have to tell the kids, like, sorry, it's just going to be boring this weekend because I've got so much classwork, but hey, you guys are going to get pizza or something because
Right.
really I don't have time to cook. But
Right.
they don't really think of it that way. They think, hey, we get pizza.
Yay. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right. We get to eat
So,
well because mom is busy.
yeah.
That's funny. What's it like now with like the coronavirus and like the kids being at home? And are you like their teacher?
I am, yeah, but it's at first it felt really crazy, but I think it's just because everything happened so quickly and
Mm-hmm.
nobody really seemed to know what the plan was or what was going on, and the messaging that was coming from everywhere was changing day to day. So,
Right.
it was hard to know what we were doing, if what we were doing was the right thing. But my kids, they go to a partial homeschool anyways. So I kind of had a little bit, um, I guess,
Of an
of like
upper
a
hand.
buffer where I kind of already knew what to expect. So
Yeah.
I wasn't like as thrust into it as families, I think, that weren't, used to having their kids going to school 5 days a week and then having regular, homework and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it's been a work in progress, but I feel like now the dust is kind of settled, and so we're all kind of into a routine. Um, so I
Right.
like that. And I also like that, they were like homeschooled before,
Mm-hmm.
but only one day a week. So now I really know what they're working on, and I try and encourage them to work on, things that they have interest in, the things that they don't have interest in. It's kind of fun trying to come up with other ways that they will pay attention to
Mm-hmm.
what it is. Like my daughter, she is really into like Barbies and fashion and, that sort of thing, cheerleading and dance and stuff. So like when she's
Oh
learning
my
math,
gosh, a little cheerleader on your hands, huh?
oh yeah, she's already a cheerleader. Like she's she's pretty sexy. Yeah, she's gonna be doing Pop Warner in the fall, and she's like so excited about it. And she would like only school. She's like, no, I'm doing Mavs. Like I'm not doing whatever the other schools options were.
She's
No,
on
I'm
her way.
Mavs. It's like, okay, excuse me. So,
Oh, man.
but yeah, she's so funny. We to teach her like symmetry, I took like a stick in the yard, and I'm like, okay, how many Barbies have to go on this side to match with the Barbies on this side, and then like line them up so they look nice, and then stand here like you're taking a picture, and like
Mm-hmm.
she got it that way. But like, on the paper and stuff, it's like, pulling teeth. But outside in the yard with Barbies and making it look nice and she gets to take pictures. She was like all about it. So,
Coco.
yeah, it's trial and error, but there was a lot of yelling the first couple of weeks. I can't, not gonna lie.
Do you when you look at like other people, like other moms in particular, like complaining about like the number of kids that they have, do you think like you're stupid, like you have no idea, or is it like do you have it down, or is it a work in progress?
I think it's always like progress just because kids change so much, like when you finally have it down, they get older. So, my oldest is now, he just became a teenager a few months ago. And that's just like
Mm-hmm.
completely different, like can of worms. And talking to Janara, our friend Janara, I was talking to her a
Mm-hmm.
couple weeks ago, and she's
She definitely
teaching
has a
her,
teenager.
yeah, she's teaching her oldest son how to drive right now. And
Oh
I'm like
gosh.
right behind her. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, how did this happen so fast? Like, I swear I was just learning how to drive, So that's, I don't know. It just seems like, it's just that, like, the saying, long days, short years, where,
Mm-hmm.
everything just goes by so quick.
Yeah.
But when you're in it day to day, it's like, sometimes Groundhog's Day, just kind of slogging through to get everything
Right.
done. So
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's play. Let's have a little fun. Okay, so I have to credit you because I don't know if I ever like. I think that you inspired my love for periodicals. I don't know if I ever like. I don't know. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, why do I love magazines so much? And you were like a little magazine person back in the day. Do you still like magazines?
I was too. My other roommate. You know what's so funny? I could
Huh?
just like get a magazine and just go into like a cat, like live, like that's what I would love to
Yeah.
be doing. But I have not done that in so long, just because I just don't have time. Like, I don't have time. You just get interrupted so much if you try and sit down. Seems like such a decadence to sit down with a magazine and think I'm not going to get interrupted or have to do like 1,000 other things. But like that was the
Yeah.
literally like the first thing I did when I like was staring down my last final. I was like, I'm going to go buy a magazine and I'm going to read this magazine. And I was so excited. I can't even tell you like
Yeah.
the last time I bought a magazine to sit down and read it. That was like literally last week when I was turning in my last final. I like went to the store and I was like, what magazine can I get? Because I'm getting something at
Right.
this checkout counter. Can't do anything
It's
else.
very.
Everything else is locked down. So let me just go on ahead and pick up HGTV magazine and I will be good.
That's wild. I get magazines all the time, but I don't read them. I subscribe to like 5 of them. Like if I see like any kind of like ad, like buy 10 and get it for $5, like I'm just on it. It's a problem. I need to like I really need to read some of them and like, but I just life just does not give you the time. I wish I could read like all my magazines when I get them at the end of the beginning of the month and just like read through them. It just doesn't work out like that ever.
Yeah, it's like a
um,
to be able to sit down and read a magazine. Like, I swear I used to do that all the time, but now it's just, yeah, who has the time?
yeah,
And they're all
there's
kind
no
of
time.
falling by the wayside, so their options are actually not all there. Like there used to be
Right.
so many other options for magazines. There's really not that. Like, it took me a while to find something I wanted to look at, and then the prices are like insane. Like, some of them are $8 because they come out like every.
You gotta subscribe. You gotta subscribe because you subscribe to like 10 cents. I thought it's crazy. It's like I always wonder, like, well, how much does it cost to print a magazine and to ship it, and why am I paying $1? Okay, so what's something? I'll answer this question first. What's something that you realize that you have an abundance of, but you didn't realize it until the quarantine time when there was like nowhere to go? For me, I'd never realized how many disposable bags that I would buy. And I think I just would be in line sometimes and be like, "Oh, I'll just pay 99 cents for the bag." I've got like so many Trader Joe's bags and Target disposable bags, and I'm not like domestic. So I realized that the other day. I was like, gosh, like this I have a problem in this area. Is there anything that you realize that you have an abundance of that you didn't realize you gathered prior to the quarantine?
No, I mean, I think I know I'm like a hoarder of books. Like I just have a book problem. And it's like I don't
Mm-hmm.
even think that it's like a problem. I think it's like a good thing, but then it's actually not a good thing to have like so many because I don't know where they
Right.
are. Like if I wanted to go read, you know, book X, I couldn't. I have no idea where it would be. Like I would have to find it at the library or buy it again or something like that. So yeah, there's like a ton of books, and I'm actually like in the process of moving. So like that everything, I think everything feels like I have too much of it because I'm like trying to get rid of stuff, but like the Goodwill and like all the donation places, they're not open or they're not accepting anything. So it's like I just feel like I'm just stuck in all this stuff.
So your answer is books.
Definitely books, but I feel like everything I have too much of right now. Like everything except for paper
Yeah.
towels. I don't have enough paper towels
Right.
for sure. I miss paper towels.
Yeah. Paper towels. Did you it's so funny. I was thinking about this, like how much like I relied on like some workplace amenities that I didn't like. I hadn't run out of toilet paper, but like just like I've washed my hands so much that like I had taken for granted like the use of paper towels, and and then I have so much hand soap that I didn't really like. It's funny, but you do make a good point though. You don't realize how much you have of something until you have to move it. That's I might have to like come preach a sermon about that because I just got a revelation in that moment.
It was actually kind of perfect timing though because I was like trying to like get down to the bare bones of everything and get rid of everything in the pantry and stuff like that. So it's definitely helped because I don't want to go to the grocery store, and Instacart was not delivering anymore, which was like my, you know, second, like, but that's like my best friend. It's like Instacart. So
I love Instacart.
yeah, I was like so sad when they were no longer returning my calls.
Oh my god, they stopped returning calls?
No, I mean like there are just no delivery times. Like I just could there no times available, and then like I would get a delivery time and it'd be like a week and a half later. Like oh my gosh,
all right,
I give up. So, but yeah, that definitely helped like pare down what I had in my pantry and stuff for moving. So
oh yeah, because
I
you
mean
just
that's
took
a
everything.
silver lining to the quarantine.
Right, right. Have you seen those things where you have like 5 or 6 options of like what house you would be in? Like if you could pick, it's like a group of people, and you could be in like one house. I seen Oregon did one where they had like like you could be in with Joey Harrington. Like this lists all these athletes. Have you seen those?
Oh, like a quarantine? Like who's your ideal quarantine? We're calling it
I
like
think it's more like a quarantine house. Like think real world. Think real world. Like, does that come on anymore? Probably not.
I think so.
Like,
I don't know.
yeah. So they're just
Just,
trying to say like, what if you had to pick 5 people essentially, like who would you want to be stuck with? Not your kids.
I mean, probably all people that don't take themselves very seriously and they have like a really good sense of humor. So, and they have like a pool. That would be awesome to have a swimming pool or hot tub.
Oh, so you're focused on the the actual like things that the house would have.
Yeah, but the people in the house definitely make a big difference though. Like, can you imagine if you're just stuck in the house with like, like doomsdayers or that'd just be so stressful for like months on end. So like if Chrissy Teigen, she would be like great to be stuck in a house with because she doesn't
She's
take,
really
and
become like
John Legend because
she's
he could
become
just
very
sing.
interesting. Aren't they married to each other?
Yeah, so that'd be a great quarantine.
Uh-huh.
Who would you have in your quarantine? Does it have to be people
Well,
we
not
know,
who
or
you
can it be
think.
like celebrities?
No, well, I was thinking about that too. I was thinking about just really interesting people. And I like my dream is to have a reality show where like I make like weird, like unlikely people meet up. Like Hillary Clinton like meet up with it kind of, I feel like that show where like you get it like famous people get in the car with comedians. I feel like they stole that from my head because like I feel like I came up with that and then like somebody like willed it out of my brain when I was asleep. Because I think I would want to do like, well, I always wanted to do like Bill Gates, Hillary Clinton, me, and Julia Roberts because we all have the same birthday.
Oh, really? I can do
Uh,
that.
yeah, I always thought that that would be interesting to just go to lunch with him and like just talk about. I think the conversation would be really weird because there would be so many things to talk about. You know what though, too, that inspired that? Do you remember that show Inside the Actors Studio?
Yeah.
Right. That guy was like really interesting too, and like not like your average like TV host. And so whenever he would ask really good questions, kind of like Larry King. Larry King was kind of like a weird looking guy that just like had really good questions for like really strange. He would just be all in your face, like, so why did you do
Yeah.
that?
It's like,
But I think I would like to be in the, huh?
go ahead.
I think I would like to. I think I'm gonna go with Wendy Williams, um, because I think she's fun. Um, I think I'd go with Wendy Williams for sure. I'm gonna go with. I like this guy named Simon Sinek. I think he would be fun to like talk to. I think him and Wendy would hit it off. I'm gonna just go with Hillary Clinton because I think it would be fun. Um, and I don't know. Just thinking about some art, maybe like a Jay-Z.
Without Beyonce? Well, I would have Beyonce in my quarantine.
I don't want Beyonce. I like I don't. I'm not interested in Beyonce. Like I don't. I like I if I had to have like a singer or something like that, I don't think I would be into like having a singer because I don't like when I listen to my music. I want Anita Baker would be a cool person, like an older lady like Patti LaBelle or somebody would be a cool contrast.
That
You
can
know,
cook
like
too, that likes to cook. Just baking
yeah, it
all
seems like
day.
she's doing a lot of cooking. Yeah, she's
Mhm.
on Facebook doing a lot of cooking.
Yeah, I feel like everybody is right now, though, except
Yeah,
for
that's true.
moms of 5 kids. We're finishing
Do you
finals
have
of
an air
grad school.
fryer?
No, I want to get that one that's like built into the toaster oven because I feel like
Oh,
that's just like one less appliance to have in your house if you have like the
uh,
combo. But I don't have. Would you recommend them?
I would. I went to my friend's house. They have 2 kids, or 3 kids, and the little girl came downstairs and put some chicken nuggets into the air fryer, and then like 2 seconds later was eating them. And so I was like, wait. Then the mom cut up a potato and made some French fries like in 3 seconds, and
Oh
it was
wow.
just so amazing. Yeah, like so I got one. Mine's is like 1.6 quarts, but it's just been great for me. Like cause I like things crispy anyway, but you can like temper how long you have things in. So I don't know. Yeah, it's like my air fryer, but the quarantine for me has really resulted in a lot of like kitchen activity. And so I've gotten a rice cooker and an air fryer and a juicer and like I don't know what I'm gonna do with this stuff after this is all over.
Yeah, I don't know. Juicing is messy. So I have a juicer, but
And expensive.
I'm like, this is just taking up real estate in my kitchen. That's the one thing that I will say I have been doing, like catching up on YouTube. Like I just get stuck down like the YouTube rabbit hole on like whatever the topic of whatever I'm into for the day is. So like the best
Right.
way to organize your linen cabinet, or like the best way to organize your kitchen like cutlery drawers, and then like all the videos that like talk about the best, whatever it may be. So I've been getting like stuck on those.
One time, it's so funny that you mentioned that, because one time I was dating a girl that when I was moving one time, and she put me on to Pinterest, like, because she was like trying to help me get organized for a move, and she made me a whole Pinterest, um, like a Pinterest thing about moving. And anyway, it had like all
A
this stuff
board,
about how to, huh?
a Pinterest board.
Yeah, it's really cool because I organized. I know. I organize things by days. I organize things by, like, they said like on Monday do this, like schedule out your day. It was really cool. So yeah, I think all in all, the quarantine is good for us. Number one, it keeps us healthy. Number two, like, we get to be more intentional with our time if we want to be. If we don't want to be, and we're stuck in too much intentionality, we can back up from that. So that's kind of been cool for me. Do you have any plans for like your first three places that you're going to go when the quarantine is like completely over and you feel completely safe?
Well, that's like we've been talking about, yeah, doing like a bucket list, or almost like like a sticker chart kind of thing. Like, okay, X's on the calendar, because we don't really know when it's going to end, but they do know when school is going to end. So, so that, the kids get all their schoolwork in on time, and because they have to submit so much every week, to the state still. If they get all of that done, then they all kind of picked a place that they want to go to. And I'm just usually, it's like, okay, like how much stuff can we cram into, like a week? But I'm actually like excited for like all the fun kid places that I feel like usually as a parent, you're like half excited, half like dreading going to, especially like in Southern California when it's like hot and it's like so crowded with like all the tourists. But now I'm like excited for standing in all the long lines, like hundreds of people. But I mean, all the main theme parks here that we haven't gotten to go to, that we have passes for, that we're just paying for, like Legoland and Disneyland and Universal Studios, and even like the little pirate dinner theater in the medieval times. Like all the kids want to go do all that stuff. I think just to be around people again. I think everyone's excited about. And that used to be the part that I really hated, like, or the parking lot's going to be so crowded. I'm like, let's get out early. And, but, I feel like it's something that you kind of start to miss a bit. So
Yeah,
I think all those things we're looking forward to.
yeah.
What about you?
I think I'm there too. Like, I feel like I've been outside and like done a lot of things. I do miss like going to the mall. I miss going to the outlet store. I miss most of all getting on the plane. Like, I usually average about one trip a month for whatever reason. I don't know how. And so I miss that. And it'll be crazy because I have a lot of like credits from trips that I was unable to take. So I'm looking forward to like leaving town, like staying at my favorite hotel, like. But I think that the world has like really changed, so it'll like cause you to be more cognizant about like germs and like protecting your immune system and stuff, and like I'm concerned about that, but really excited to like get back to the mall. But I think also the stuff not being open and like doing things online has like pushed me to really realize that I don't need things that I thought that I needed. Like, I don't need to actually go to the mall to get the things that I need. I actually just go there for other reasons. And so it.
Yeah, well, that's important too. Then it's interesting that you say that because I was just listening. I think it was on NPR just this evening. I think it's Tim Gunn that was the host of what is it called? The fashion show, the Real Project Runway.
Oh, okay.
And he was just on NPR, and they were just talking to him about the future of the fashion industry because people really aren't shopping right now.
Right.
Because there's nowhere to go,
Mm-hmm.
And so, and he was saying how they were thinking, like brick and mortar stores are really in trouble in malls and that sort of thing. And do they have a place in the, future here? Like J. Crew is preparing to file
I've
bankruptcy.
seen that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Crazy.
I mean, I think that's good. It's important that, people like voice that and,
Right.
well, what do the teenagers have to do? Like, that's what I did when I was a teenager, is go to the
Right.
mall.
And I think
So,
that they're gonna be like, the mall like is turned into like a safe place to go to, because I'd rather for a teenager to go to the mall than to go to somebody's house. Like at least it's a public place. I mean, there's actually no safe place for with unsafe activity. But yeah, I think but I also, my suspicion and my thought too is that like once we're really coming out of this, it's going to be. I mean, people are already breaking the rules. Like people are protesting to not be quarantined without a mask or anything. Like people are going to go back to doing what they were doing before. We're going to get out of this around the holiday season. And like, I think that the malls, the brick and mortar spots, they're going to have more of an incentive for like, having sales and doing whatever they can to get people to come to the stores, because they got to make up for the money that they lost. But then many of them are getting bailouts anyway, so they probably don't care, unless they have to pay employees, like so. Because it's actually the citizens that are they're getting the bad end of the stick, because big business is going to be okay ultimately.
yeah, we're not getting any deals. I was waiting for all the deals. I'm like, I'm moving. So I'm like, the furniture store is definitely going to have a sale.
Right.
And I'm like checking and checking. And the only thing they offer is like, set your own furniture up, like no in-home delivery.
Right.
Like, that's not a
Come
deal.
pick it up for free.
I'm gonna pass.
Right.
I'll
Right.
just wait it out. I'm
Well,
not gonna
listen,
spend my entire weekend putting together one bookshelf.
I appreciate catching up with you, and thanks for being willing to come and talk on my podcast. And you have any parting words?
Parting words.
Parting words.
I don't know. I mean, I guess, yeah, regarding the coronavirus or just life in general or
Life in general.
parenting, life in general. I mean, I think you kind of nailed it earlier when you said that we're all kind of living with more intentionality. Is that an actual word? Um, so I don't know if you said that, but I was saying that and I wasn't sure if it was. Anywho, but yes, I think living life with intention. We kind of got like smacked in the face with it, but I feel like it was definitely needed, and we all can take advantage of the opportunity to, make ourselves our best version of ourselves, and exude that into the world, because I feel like it's been so polarizing, and we all kind of need something to bring ourselves, back together again.
Back together. And I definitely think that if nothing else, people have come together. Like people have decided to find new ways to connect with people that they haven't connected with, and people are more. I mean, you have to be. I think I more as I identify as an introvert. I don't really do like the whole parties thing, but I know I've been to more parties like in quarantine than ever. I know that for facts, because like I feel like I'm doing social activities that I wouldn't go to a mixer or I wouldn't do any of that like outside of like, because I would be thinking about all the stuff that I have to do, and I'd be tired, and I'm like, I'm going home. But this has kind of opened me up to like doing more out there more, which I think is very interesting. I did also realize how much I like value being around people, even if the interaction wasn't like hugging and kissing and things like that. I just enjoy like the movement of people and watching people, and that's something that I definitely missed. But it's also pretty cool to see people walking in the park and just finding ways to enjoy their families. I've been going to like walking around certain neighborhoods just to see how people are experiencing, especially new neighborhoods, kind of like a litmus test, like to see how people are experiencing like newer developments and quarantine. And it's kind of snoopy, but like looking in people's windows to see what they're doing, and like I know it sounds terrible, but anyway, happy Mother's Day. I hope your Mother's Day is really great, and
No, thank you.
We'll talk soon.
All right, sounds good. Well, thanks for having me.
No problem. Bye, Kyson.
Oh, he says bye in his sleep.
Okay, all right, bye-bye.
All right, good night.